putting together one of the better seasons in league history.
It's the Vikings and the Jets, and it comes your way next.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. We'll get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start on the ground, home. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. To throw is Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. This defense for the Vikings, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And what I saw on Bill was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On first and 10, it's Hall. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. Second and 13 that they're walking up on. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
They came to this week with a winning record as they beat just a little bit tougher.
So excellent starting position here for the Vikings. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Well, pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Out of the gun now on third down. Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it. Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone. And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns. Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 40, 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call. And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise. So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And boy, that was something to watch, wasn't it? How about the way these guys stamp on this game early with their play calls? And they certainly look good so far.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know the funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Let's go now. Shit right now, boys.
Back to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll look to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph now to have the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veterans.
And this throw will be intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Week 13 here in the NFL, first weekend of December. Playoff races definitely coming into focus now, and we got a couple of good ones in prime time. Tonight, national audience gets a look at the Colts for a second straight weekend. This time they're at Dallas, 7:20 Central Time for that kick. And then Monday night, Saints and Bucks. Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. His ninth score on the ground this year and 13th overall. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that deficit widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Hall again on 2nd down. Able to slither by. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Again. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. Here's Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Let's see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get the momentum going again.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, while he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a new point there is they were able to connect. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll set up to throw. Touchdown! Kyle Rudolph. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Take it in at the 22. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Escapes the sack. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now another timeout called for by the offense, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And they will remain well behind. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start with the oldest rivalry, Chicago playing host to Green Bay in the NFC North. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Aaron Rodgers with 2 touchdown passes. From
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game, we skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. Well, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive goal in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Fresh out of the with a gain of over 20. Big hitter to start the drive as him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That is caught by Thielen. And he'll go down the number for getting this inside the 30. 24 yards the game throw. He completes it to Beckham. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Second and 3. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been in a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and the Jets are going to get the football back. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I see you reaching for a right flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're blowing the territory right now. That interception, just remember any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession, and they can run this score up even further as they begin this drive with a first and goal and that huge lead. They'll look to throw here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Back to throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give a little credit to the defense on that one. They resisted quite well, and that pass fell incomplete. But this ball game for him, that's just a momentary speed bump. He's played awfully well throwing the football.
Looking to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield, try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
This has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game. Even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Third and long. It's Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzella. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson. Touchdown number 27. That's highest Priest holds for most of a single year. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You can see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And boy, it was pretty.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. Sides of the football, and one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. There's Wilson to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. That's pulled in at the 32. Going to be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. With a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Up the middle, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. Cook will score. Touchdown Vikings.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Joseph on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now Wilson on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense so far on third down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, break it. Now Cook hit it. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he'll be brought down as the run with Cook. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Cook again. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time. That one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. In this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them. Really impressive effort.
Yeah, and as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Vikings, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.